One of the concerns was that the oil spill was going to get entrained into the loop current, which is a big current that comes from the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico, sometimes loops up relatively close to Louisiana, and then goes back, travels back down past Key West and feeds the Gulf Stream. And its width is around probably 100 miles, 150 miles wide, same as the Gulf Stream. And so that's a huge river of warm water moving from the Caribbean. We were concerned that if a loop current was in this configuration close to Louisiana, it could entrain oil and bring it all the way past Key West, up the East Coast, past Miami, and then spread out into the North Atlantic. There are variations in how strong the currents are. Sometimes that loop will actually pinch off, forms an eddy, a big vortex, like in your bathtub, spinning around, and then that then travels by itself, and the water that was coming in from past Cuba then flows directly to Key West and doesn't go up into the Gulf very much at all. That's variable. It happens in a basically a kind of random, chaotic way. At the time, they didn't have loop current monitoring, didn't really know for sure what this was doing. So we said, hey, we think you can do this with a glider. The gliders were a concept that we actually developed about 10 years ago with Navy funding. The spray glider was developed in collaboration between WHOI and Scripps. The way the glider works is it starts at the surface and it dives down to roughly 500 meters in the Gulf of Mexico, and then takes data as it's coming up through the water column, and then it comes to the surface, and the glider actually rolls up a wing and has a little antenna in the tip of the wing, which has a little modem in it. It basically sends an email back to us, and we actually take that message and turn it into data and plot the data in real time. If it's not going the right place or not the right depth, we actually can send a message back by sending an email with instructions to change its mission parameters so it can then go where we want it to go. When we saw the oil spill, I was talking with a colleague at Scripps, and they actually had a glider kind of basically ready to go. We marshaled resources together and agreed that they would get the glider ready, and someone from the WHOI lab and one of their guys would go down and launch the glider. And then I was responsible to actually pilot the glider. You have to sort of watch it, check in on it a few times a day, a few hours a day, every day for 3 months. My wife had told me several times with gliders that we'd already raised 2 children, and she didn't enjoy sometimes raising a fleet of gliders. It was sort of another whole family that I've taken on. We realized that the loop current had formed an eddy. We as a country were kind of really lucky. So the eddy basically served to isolate the wellhead from the loop current, and since the loop current fed the Gulf Stream, that meant that you could concentrate your resources in Louisiana and Mississippi and Florida and Alabama rather than on the East Coast. As an oceanographer, I think I'm incredibly proud of our community, the job we did at basically volunteering in some sense in the beginning to make these measurements and trying to give the information to help better predict where the oil spill is. It speaks well of our community and our concern for the ocean.